VR will never be a thing? Oh no, definitely not. Definitely not.
Definitely not.
It's way too complicated. It'll never function.
No, no, no. Don't go anywhere because this is not going to be a hit piece. Now look, I strongly disagree with Shroud. It hurt my heart to hear that. But you know, and I know, VR is already a thing. Jason Rubin knows this, so does Lord Gabe, and all of you amazing people who are watching this video and follow me and are subscribed know this as well. Shroud's comments come after a recent stream where he gave his opinion on VR as it applies to the gaming space. Please remember I said gaming, because if it's VR in general, this rabbit hole could go on forever and will never end. But just because I don't agree with a comment doesn't mean it has to be wrong either. Shroud's opinion of VR is based on his personal experience, the facts that have been presented to him, and his thoughts on VR are legit to him. It's just a shame he has the platform of influence to share that negative VR message, where my little count here can't combat his damage. So Shroud, I challenge you to a VR. This episode will be titled The VR Shroud of Mystery. Shroud's thoughts on VR can be summed up by these two quotes. It's just gonna be this little thing that some people have and like to fuck around with. Also this one, the functionality is too confusing for your average consumer. Once you have finished slamming your head in the wall, because yes, VR brothers and sisters, these comments, they suck, but it's an opportunity for VR developers and anyone in the VR space to keep improving the product to counter these opinions. Let's investigate 2 reasons Shroud feels this way and the opportunities it presents. It's too complicated. Anything PC related is by definition never really user friendly, and figuring out the kinks and problems with anything PC, it's kind of part of the equation, the experience, and it's always been like that. Not saying I'm happy it's always been that way, but PC is just not always a user-friendly console basically. But is Shroud wrong when saying the functionality is too confusing for your average consumer? I think he's casting way too hard of a blanket statement here, but if he thinks this, well, so do many other people. I know for a fact other people think this way. The Index is your high-end unit, and honestly not for the average VR consumer, so I take it out of the equation really. Sorry Index, you're my favorite baby. But to be fair to Shroud, it comes with its frustrations between base stations, which some do not like over inside-out tracking, and honestly, here's the real problem: to say Steam VR works 100% of the time would be one of the greatest gaming lies. My opinion is the Oculus Rift line is the standard for mass adoption from use, price, and function standpoints at this point in time. The old CV1 was phased out for the Oculus Rift S, which was a step to counter the confusing nature of VR by removing the need for sensors, extra setup, and just making it an easier process to use. The Oculus Quest is, as the majority opinion, where VR is headed for the future. Although we are talking about the way far future, it is as easy to use as VR can get at the moment. In reality, to the average consumer, those that Shroud is alluding to want comfort and convenience. They want ease of use and familiarity. They want to feel as comfortable using VR as they do with traditional gaming. You and I know we are on the path to that, but we are far away from it, and Shroud's comments illuminate the need for, say, Oculus, Valve, HTC, and anyone wanting mass adoption of their product to make their software and hardware easier to use, more comfortable, and familiar good experiences that not only rival traditional gaming, but adds value that cannot be missed. You need VR for that additional value. Large influencers like Shroud giving negative opinions can and will lead to better things in the VR space for all of us if companies are listening and eyeing the future. This is, like I said, a good opportunity to learn from negative opinions. Lastly, let's focus on the second thing I learned and hope the VR pioneers and giants of industry see from the average consumer or gamer. The whiffum. What's in it for me? It's just gonna be this little thing that some people have and like to fuck around with. This hit the hardest for me because Shroud comes off feeling like VR is a gimmick, and that hurts because VR is not a gimmick. I hate hearing this. It really burns me up, but that's his impression. Instead of hating him for the comment, I see again an opportunity that I know will change over time, but his comments could help speed it up. A traditional gamer will almost never wake up one day and go, hey, I need VR now. I need it in my life. With VR marketing, public presence, and many other issues, this is just not a mind frame consumers are going to be in for a very long time. In a survey done by HubSpot, link in the description, 23.1% of the responses in this survey indicated that before buying a headset, they need to learn more about VR. It notes this. That response points to the idea that VR still remains an emerging new technology that most users have yet to experience, unlike traditional video games or social media, of which most users now have a clear understanding of their purpose. Purpose, and purpose. Purpose is probably one of the most interesting and needed parts in everybody's life on the decisions they make. Consumers need to know what VR is and why it will not only enhance the gaming experience, but how it can be worth it to replace fully the traditional gaming experience. To me, this is the root of Shroud's comments and why it hurts so deep. He does not see the value it adds. It is no one's fault about this, but the more VR keeps evolving, it is my opinion, marketing, development, and the mission statement for VR should be to show clear as day how it is valuable to the gamer, why they should want it, and how it will keep evolving to provide experiences that no other medium can even come close to. To sum this video up, Shroud's comments sucked, and they dig deep into the heart of every single VR enthusiast that I know of. VR enthusiasts, though, are not the majority of the gaming pie. The average traditional gamer is, and his comments just illuminate this. I hope due to his platform size, the VR community takes notice, and that creators, developers, pioneers of the industry, and more see that his comments, although hurtful to me, because my ego gets hit by this, are driven by public sentiment of what the average gamer thinks of VR, and how it is imperative that we all work on changing this mentality. Not just creating better games and hardware, but we create an unmatched culture of VR enthusiasm, knowledge, and support. Make sure to leave a like if you support this video, subscribe and hit that bell icon to never miss an upload, and I'll see you on the next one, VR Space Cowboys.
Bang.